The anti-Muslim propaganda and all these political movements, they are rising so much, it means you are building a very tall wall, and tall walls are the most vulnerable walls. So the truth will shatter that wall, but then behind those walls, the Muslims should be waiting. Proper Muslims, not the power politics Muslims, but the moral ones, the real ones. So we have to be those people with our own science, with our own politics, which is different than the Western type. And the truth will prevail. This is a symbolic event. You know all the Davos meeting. Our Prime Minister, he gave the lecture. He told the truth to the face of the butchers. And then you have all those events rolling up now, just because of one event. So the truth will start the things, and it will finish up the things. So we can believe. Inshallah, so finish up very positive. You will see. You know that. And ideas and values. Don't underestimate any idea and any value. But in that respect, we have to be open as well. I'm just continuing very fast. And energy will be on the table, you know, all of those. Natural resources, how they are concentrated on the world. The reddish ones are the most concentrated ones. But then, those countries, they don't know how to manage it, and the others are using. So this will also come to an end, inshallah, peacefully. And water, that will be another constraint in the future, because the water resources are scarce, very scarce. So there will be a movement, as we have seen in the population, the young movement towards the north. The same thing will happen because of the thirst and the lack of water resources. And Africa is already on the table, as you know, because of the natural resources. It has China, America, etc. They have already started the second cycle of colonization. Just buying up the governments, buying up all the mines and etc. resources from the countries by giving bribes, by putting their own army bases and personnel, etc. So the next Cold War will be in Africa. It has already started. You will see it more. And poverty, as we told, the poor people will be demanding the northern riches, and they will go and work there. And at the end, Europe will be invaded by Africans and Arabs. First, they have already invaded some parts, so just wait. So, when you look at the percentage population growth among the religions, Muslims have the highest one, 6, and the second, and as far as I can see, ethno-religions. I don't know what that means. So they are worshipping their own race, I think. Okay, so those guys are coming first. So population dynamism will be again determining. And immigration, we have told. Communication will be another thing, but the virtual communication will collapse at the end because of the similar parallel process of hypocrisy. Because virtuality creates hypocrisy. It serves actually hypocrisy. That's why in one of the television shows, I told, look at the social media that we are talking about, Twitter, Facebook. You will imagine that these people who invented those media are very sociable people, like Americans and Europeans. They not so much conversation, they cannot get enough of it. So even if they are out of the people's circles, they just continue with their cellular phones. No, it's just opposite. They are so lonely, they can only communicate virtually. So they are actually looking for real men, real people to talk to, which they cannot find. So therefore, they are relying on these technologies. So a Muslim is a sociable one. We are having what we call a muhabbat, the love of each other, of talk, of sharing the things, etc. Let's not sacrifice this organic communication with the virtual one. You can use it, of course, I don't care, but know the place of it. Sometimes we are overestimating the things, overvaluing things. This is not something to be overvalued. Okay, China will be another power. I'm just going to the... Anyway, so these are the last things. Today, the the general weaknesses that we have as Muslims, and I draw on my experience because I traveled a lot in the Islamic world because of my diplomatic missions. Anywhere we go, including our country, there is a huge dominance of inferiority complex. Saying that, you know, we cannot do anything. The West has all the power. What can we do? You are only being killed. The West knows the science and technology we don't have. Our ancestors had never invented anything. The Ottoman Empire was 600 years old. They didn't produce a bit of science. How could they survive for 600 years? Sitting on their ass all the time? 600 years. And against all the great powers of the time. They were continuously fighting. Well, get rid of your inferiority complex. Don't rely on Western parameters when you are discussing something. Be original. But in order to be an original, you have to know your tradition. I am a political scientist. I am trained in all American schools, etc. What do they teach? Politics starts with Athens, finishes with American Empire. Where are the Muslims? Politics. But they had so many empires. Not a chance. It is ignorance chance. It may happen. Well, it happened for 1,400 years. We don't know. We only know the part of history. So, this type of indoctrination, unfortunately, is residing in our minds. Get rid of it. For example, I have my own personal policy. When I did my PhD in Western philosophy, but I am only criticizing it. I take whatever good in it, very few. But then I rely on my own tradition. You are a political scientist, you don't know Ibn Khaldun. Shame on you. You say, I heard about it, but I didn't read. But you are reading Aristotle, who lived 2,005 years ago. So why not Ibn Khaldun? Because he's a Muslim, so he's less valuable than Aristotle, or fucking Marx, or Engels, or whatever. Who are they? So I am pissed off. Know your tradition. The West is now doing, I don't know how, thousands time of Aristotle's reinterpretation. Do you know that? The Western philosophy is just issuing from two persons. Still, what we call philosophy in the West is a discussion of two people. Aristotle and Socrates. Finished. Plato, sorry. Finished. Why don't you have your Ibn Khaldun, Imam Ghazali, Ibn Rushd to be discussed the same way? Why are you ashamed of your own scholars? Are they less clever? They are faithful, be careful. They are superior because they are faithful. Okay? Get rid of this inferiority complex. Second problem, passiveness. They will do to us what we can't do anything to them. No. When we work, like our Prime Minister, he is almost working 24 hours for the last 12 years. Can you imagine? I know it personally. I see it. So you are ashamed when you are not working that hard. So be active. When you work, you gain in your personal life as well as in the international life. Lack of confidence, ignorance, we have this sense of being limited and close, which is not there actually. And lack of unity. We are all brothers and sisters. Not only among Muslims, but with other people too, because they are creations of Allah. They have something to be respected of. We cannot be that cruel as the Western ones, those human rights people. Okay. Because we are, the Muslims, we are open to all human beings. We can gather from any other culture. Therefore, the greatest synthesizers in civilization in the world are the Muslims. We synthesize with Chinese practices in medicine, in even government. Indian practices, wherever we went, we infused, we always took what is valuable. So the same thing here. To ideas, to spaces, to times. Because Allah made all the earth a masjid for us. So there is no foreign land for a Muslim. If you say you are not a proper Muslim, all the lands are yours. Wherever you go, because it's Allah's, isn't it? And don't say, well, I wish I would live in the time of this and that. No. When you are created in this time, it means it is higher, it is beneficial for you to live in this time. It is your time. Allah determines it. So, don't curse time, don't curse space, own it. It is yours. Okay? And don't be the other. Be yourself. Be original. Don't overestimate or underestimate the West. Because there are good parts and very evil parts in the science as well. Value and utilize our tradition. Be smart doing the things. And very careful when you are studying. You are not only a student. You are a man of Allah. So you have to also have your morality, akhlaq, which doesn't exist in the West. For example, Marx is a very moral philosopher who is concerned about the poor, but in his life he didn't give a penny to any poor.
He was a poor person.
This is very conventional for the Western philosophers. For example, Levinas, you know Levinas? Yes. Immanuel Levinas? Yeah. This Jewish philosopher, French philosopher, he's talking about how to respect the other, but when you listen to his radio speeches in the French radio, he's supporting the Zionist state against the Palestinians, and he's supporting the massacres. So this hypocrisy is the trademark of being a kafir. A Muslim cannot be hypocrite. Even in your sin, you have to be sincere. So, combine your knowledge with your akhlaq. Don't serve, unfortunately, evil goals in Western universities. When they ask you to write a dissertation about your country, don't think that, oh, these guys are wondering to know our people and they love to know about us. Well, they love to know and use it. Unfortunately. The exceptions don't break the rule. There may be exceptions, but there are very few. I'm coming from that system, that's why I know it very well. Okay. My brothers and sisters, the future is ours if we are ourselves and if we work hard. Thank you very much.